Citizens of Super Earth, I welcome you to a brand new video for Helldivers 2. Well, it's been a lot of fun being a Helldiver for the last 48 to 72 hours or so, as we've had a lot of things happen, good and bad. We liberated Tien Kwan, the exosuit is now available for all, and the servers got overloaded, which stopped hundreds of thousands of players from being able to join the game. And we've also got a sort of a question and answer situation with the CEO Pyle over on Twitter X. But before we get into that, if you could hit that thumbs up and the subscribe button, Super Earth will appreciate it, and now let's keep spreading democracy. In our first news story of the day, we're going to take a look at the server issues that happened to which players could not get into the game. Spitz, the community manager on Discord, put out the following at midnight on Friday on the Helldivers Discord. Okay, so we broke it again, and then fixed it again. 3 different spikes in traffic over the course of the day. We have been playing havoc with our server stability, but we're confident that it should be normalizing now and that players should be able to get into the game and earn rewards again. There is still a queue on the medals from previous major orders, as well as on purchases of the combat mech and war bond items, so please retry if these purchases do not go through on your first attempt. Enjoy your weekend. For that there, I will say, I've actually had quite a few issues with the medal situation. I'd go on, I'd clear my daily orders and the major orders, and nothing would show up. Finally though, last night on Saturday night, they actually all appeared, and I'm actually really happy for it. In the next post, Spitz actually put out this graph, which shows how the spikes on the servers became too high. As the exosuits were announced to be available, nearly every single player wanted to jump in and just get a go in one of them. Have fun. Walk around as you are a big robot, just blowing everything up. And I will say the mechs are a lot of fun, but I do think they need a little bit in buffing for the armor. But like we said, this was to be expected, as the exosuits have been known to Helldivers for a long time, and in the war for democracy, every single thing helps for the fight. Our second news story is that the CEO of Arrowhead has been on Twitter X and speaking with all Helldivers. His first post was to congratulate the community on liberating Tien Kwan, and that the mechs caused the servers to blow up. It's also interesting to see as well that the time frame that all in-house developers, that they thought that taking Tien Kwan would be 4 times longer than it was. Obviously, citizens then started asking questions, and some even threw out demands like this, which can be dealt with a court-martial, but the CEO did reply with, "But for real though, the railgun in unsafe mode didn't change the capabilities of it as it should. The AP of it all was insanely tweaked and now goes from good to GOAT. Like it was always intended to be, a risk-reward weapon for high-tier play, like a sniper rifle on crack, but with the risk of killing the user. I get this, and I've been talking with a few people who have said that they still use the nerfed items and that they don't see a lot of difference, which I do have to agree. The shield backpack is still good, but I do currently run the stalwart machine gun, which is just high-powered, amazing, and you just hold down the trigger and you just act like Rambo. It's so much fun." It's also nice to see though a CEO of a game actually talking and responding with the community. Yes, we've had those issues over the last few days, but this is a good move in the right direction, I think. Keeping with the CEO, over the weekend, he has been speaking with people on Twitter X about players who are being kicked from games due to not running what the host wants. To me, this is actually quite despicable. It's a game. Go in, have fun. Use what you want to use. Use stratagems that you enjoy using. Use sentries, weapons, whatever. Just so you can have fun. But if people are starting to kick you because you use a stratagem that no one likes, V wrote this reply to Pyle. "I've been removed from matches due to using a single stratagem or particular weapon the host doesn't like. People will kick for the tiniest reason. On the upside, those matchups have been few and far between, but frequent enough to be notable." It just blows my mind that people would kick others because of this. But Pyle replied with, "This is so shitty. Also, very hard to solve. We have some ideas, but no conclusion. You know what? Let's try this. Hive mind. Do you have a design suggestion for how to improve this experience? I will say the replies are actually pretty great as well, with some I would definitely be up for doing. These are my 3 favourites. Under the crossplay option, have a toggle for preferred style, either hardcore or F it we ball. Use whatever wording you prefer. It would be helpful under recent teammates to highlight the person who just kicked you so you can block them in return and hopefully never get matched with them again. And last but not least, I got kicked right before extraction after we finished all the mission objectives for seemingly no reason. Maybe a game mechanic that disables kicking after a certain point. These are my favourites, but I will say it's hard to think of ways to combat this which will not damage the overall gameplay. The vote to kick seems the right way to go, but if you're playing with 2 friends and a random joins, that automatically gives you the vote to power, and you can get rid of them. Out of them all though, I think the cross option could be a viable way for it to work. Have a casual mode or hardcore mode. I think that would be the best way to go, a bit like how you have it on Call of Duty if you want, say, hardcore mode where there's no HUD, limited weapons and all this, and then you got the normal, just multiplayer. Let me know what you think about these down below, my fellow Helldivers, and let's keep spreading democracy to Super Earth.